Well, I thought that was an excellent review of the state of the art in adult wellbeing research, and I learnt a great deal from it. And I'm going to resonate about child wellbeing research from what was said there. And there are very many similarities with the preoccupations and the track that we have been down on child wellbeing research with that on adult research. But I think the big difference is that we've been much less successful in explaining variations in subjective well-being among children than you have with adults. From your presentation, I understood that you had explained 22% of the variation at the individual level and 86% variation using the macro country level indicators, and Helliwell in the OECD work explains 74% of national variation in adult life satisfaction using the World Values Survey. And in child wellbeing research, we don't get anywhere near that level of explanatory power. And I've just got some slides to illustrate some of the work that's been done and how far we've got on the same kind of activity as Wolfgang's outlined. Next slide. These are two slides from the Children's World Survey. This is a survey of this is the second wave of the Children's World Survey, and I've drawn lines on these graphs, but they shouldn't really be there because there are no associations. On the vertical axis, you've got subjective well-being of children, and in the horizontal axis on the left-hand side, you've got the subjective well-being of adults taken from Helliwell's results, and there's really no association between adult life satisfaction and child life satisfaction. So we cannot take adult well-being as a proxy for children's well-being. And then on there is, in adult research, there's a clear association between GDP per capita and adult well-being, but for children it doesn't exist either. There's no association. Next slide. This is macro comparison. So these are at the country level, and this is UNICEF work from the Innocenti report card series, and this shows the subjective well-being, the overall subjective well-being of children on the vertical axis, and the child poverty rate of the country on the horizontal axis, and you can see that there's a clear association there, but with some substantial outliers. The Netherlands always has much happier children than they deserve, for reasons that hasn't been explained, and the French have much less happy children than they should have. They're sort of outlier in the other direction, but nevertheless, there's clearly at a macro level an association, but we found it much more difficult to explain variations in subjective well-being of children at a micro level.